In the last lecture, we studied about the types of data sources. We do have API system, database, and third one is the file-based system. So in this class, we will study about the APIs. API are the protocols or the system to which we connect with the another server. In the simple language, if you say, it is the communication between the two systems. There are some set of rules and regulations which we have to follow between that communication system is based out in the API. Now API has some major components. First component is the HTTP method. Before diving into it, let's have a look at a high level architecture. Here client is, you can say, user. User is sending some kind of request. Request is either you are requesting for data or you are putting the data there. When that request goes to the server, then server tries to identify your request, whether you are authorized to make the request or not. First point is this, whether you are authorized to make the request or not. If you are authorized, then you will get some kind of response. So API works on request and response. Now this request and response has some major types of components. First one is the HTTP methods. Get. When you require some data, when you request the data from the API, then what you will use? Get system. In the data engineering, this is the major type of HTTP method which we are using on a daily basis. Second is the post. Post is just opposite of the get. You are giving out the data here. For example, when you fill out your details over any website, your phone number, email ID and name, then that details are stored using the post method. But here there is one point to be cautious here. Post is idempotent. Means if one time you have given the request, for example, you have one time given the request, name is Rahul, email is rahul@gmail.com. Then another time when you made the same request, then there will be two records generated. So there will be a duplicate entry. Whenever you run this request, then you will have the same number of entries listed out there. So be cautious here. Then third one is the put. Put is when you want to replace the existing data set in the server. Patch is the, you can say, type of a put request, or you can say the subset of the put request, where you partially update a resource. For example, you do have name, ID, email, phone. Through the post request, you can give out all the details at once that is required, that is mandatory. Through the put request, you can update the existing record. For example, you have name stored as Amit, ID 1, email ID a@gmail.com, phone is 8942. This is the details which you have in the file system, which have the details stored in the server right now. Now if you want to update all the details, for example, you want to update from Amit to Sumit, 1 to 2, a@gmail ID to Sumit@gmail ID, and you want to update phone number also, then you will use the put system, put method. But when you only want to update one of the column or one of the details, then you will use the patch. For example, if you want to update only the email ID, then instead of using the put system, you can use the patch. That will help out you. Now put is idempotent. What it means, if you have run this request hundred of times also, then also there will be no duplicate request. Patch is also idempotent for this similar kind of update request. Patch will work as a idempotent when patch is idempotent when we have to update the data set, then it is idempotent. Means if you run it 100 of times also, then also we don't have any kind of problem, we don't have any duplicate data. But when we have some kind of instructions, like if you want to update ID by 1 every time, then it is not idempotent. Every time you run, then ID will be increased by 1. Then final is the delete. When you want to delete any kind of resource or any kind of data from the server. So these are the 5 major kinds of methods which we do have in the API. Now you have given some kind of request to the API. So there will be some kind of response also from the server system. There are certain codes which we need to understand. First one is if any code is starting with the 1, for example 100. 100 means continue. Like process is going on, please wait for a moment. Second is 200. If it is a range of the 200 to 299, then we have these codes. 200 means request successful. 201 created means you have given some kind of data and it has been updated in the system. Created. 204, yes, it has, your request has been success, but there is no output from the server. If the response is in the terms of 300 to 399, then we have resource has been moved to another location. Either URL has been changed or temporary URL has been shifted to some another location, or a URL has been updated temporarily. 301 means permanent redirection to a new URL. 302 means there is a temporary redirection to a new URL. For example, website is in the maintenance mode, then most probably you can get the error 302. It is not the error, sorry, it is the we can kind of a response. Then if it is in the range of 400 to 499, then these are the error codes. These are the actual error. 400 means bad request, means something is missing from your input side. 401, your credential didn't match with the server. 403, forbidden means no permission. 404, the resource which you are looking for, the data which you are looking for is not available in the server. Then 500, if it is in the range of 500 to 599, then 500 means internal server error, means server, it is only problem from the server side. It is not your side problem. Authentication is working, everything is working, but server has some kind of problem. Either it is overloaded or either it is not responding you, then you will get the server crashed. 502 is bad gateway. 503, service not available right now. Now we get into some practical things, how this will work. So request, I have told you earlier, it is sent by us users. Response, it is sent by the server. Request is a message which you send to the server, like give me the data or store this data or update this data. It is a dummy API, you can say, which is free to use. We can do some kind of experiment here. First, we need to import the library which we want to use there. Import request. To this library, we can call the API. Import request, URL equal to this, and look at this point. It is get. Get means you are asking for some data, and you pass this URL into the request, then you will get some kind of data in the response. Response equal to request dot get URL, and that is stored into a variable response, and print response dot status code. Now 200 is the status code, and we know 200 means our request has been successful. if we want to see the data set, the first two rows, the first two resources, we will say the each element of your response as a resources, or each element of the data as a resources in the API. So response.json, we are converting the response into the JSON format. Then we are only taking first two resources. You can observe JSON is similar to the dictionary kind of format. Now here we are using another request, post. What is a post request? You are sending out the data. In the get request, you are asking for the data and you get this response. Okay, but here you are sending out the data set. Title and ID. Title and ID, you can see title is the attribute here, ID is the attribute here. Now you are sending out the data to the server by using post method, converting dictionary to JSON. So we are creating one dictionary data. Here we will store the data set, the resource which we want to update in the server side. Response equal to request.post. Earlier we were using get, now we are using post. URL, we do have the same URL right now, comma, JSON equal to data. This will convert your data into JSON format because usually server understand the JSON. Here we will get the status code and the JSON, the response which we get from there. 201 is the, if you check in the notes in the earlier video, you can check that 201 is resource has been updated or resource has been created. 201 response means resource has been created. Now get into the another method. Here we are using put. To the put request, we are updating the record with ID 1. ID is 1, title, we have given some updated title, body, full update. This is also the attribute available in the dataset. User ID, we are updating the existing data there using the .put request. .put URL JSON equal to data. Here one point is to understand is, you clearly notice here in the earlier URL we are using till here post, or now /1 has been used. /1 mean we want the data of ID 1 because we are doing the update statement, and update statement don't work on the complete data set, it will work on the selected data set. You have selected the ID equal to 1 here using the post /1. Now you are giving the data, method is same, syntax is same almost, similar to the post request, JSON equal to data, and then you get 200, means yes, your request has been successful. Now patch. If you remember what is the difference between patch and put, in the put you have to update the complete data set, but in patch you can update the partial data set also. .patch URL JSON equal to data. Now look, we are only giving the attribute title here, and what we are getting, request response.status code 200 and response.json. If you look at here, user ID is 1, ID is 1, only title has been updated, else is the same which is already present in the server. Now last point is the delete. Request dot delete. It is simple. You are just giving the URL here. The URL, latest URL is the post 1, means it will delete the resource of ID 1. Now if you notice here, status code is 200. Now one major point. Every API has its own kind of rules and regulations. Although the methods will work same for all the API, but rules and regulations can be changed. Like attributes can be changed, somewhere it is ID, somewhere it is the customer ID, name has been changed. Okay, you will understand when we will do more practical here. In the next lecture, we will study about the params.